When Jesus is on hot mic, a constant friend is he. His eye is on Billy and Sheba, and I know he watches over we. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hot mic, y'all.
No, thank you. Thank you. I've watched a lot of Sister Act 2. Yes. I've watched it many times. And that's what that song is from. Remember when Lauryn Hill sings that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's when they discover she can sing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Great song. Thank you. There we go.
We're working.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we gotta check these, man, because
yeah, sometimes we go on and then we get cooking, and then like our Palestinian family is like, we can't hear you. I'm like, no.
We figured it out, and it's working today. And she blessed out with a beautiful intro. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
This is an episode we've been trying to think about how to approach for a while, and we're gonna do it today.
Yeah. We're just gonna have fun because this is all made up, man. Like. Please.
Let's just talk. Let's just talk it through, yo. It's
and
there's a lot of stuff that's pulling us to this conversation.
I mean, exactly. Right? What is it? One's destiny is often found on the path he takes to avoid it. Yeah. So we were always going to get here, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, like we're about to show people that it's like easy and fun and like a relief to talk about this stuff. Oh, Billy, your mic isn't on.
My mic's not on? Billy, my mic's not on. Wow.
Thank you. Just a little technical difficulty. Hey, Zev. Oh, Billy, your mic is... Oh, yeah, you're quiet. Yeah. We're just gonna have fun because this is all made up, man. Like,
let's see here. Let's just talk it through.
And it's kind of like in Peanuts with Charlie Brown when like an adult is speaking. It's just kind of like one's destiny. Guess I'm a kid.
Keep talking to me, Zeb. Tell me if it's rocking better.
Heard you through my mic.
Sync off time it takes between okay. Off. That's you.
Yeah.
Now for me.
Zeb, how do you like this earring? Can you see it?
Yeah, do you see the earring, y'all?
We got him some new gauges, and then I got these dagger earrings and just hung it through his gauge, and I think it looks cool. It's giving like Sinbad the Sailor. It's giving pirate.
Keep talking to me, Zeb. Tell me. Yo.
Zeb, how do you like this earring? Can you see it?
Yeah, do you see the earring, y'all?
We got him some new gauges, and then I got these dagger earrings and
like, the beard,
just hung it through his gauge, and I think it looks cool. It's giving like
different look. I got that
Sinbad. Yeah. It's with the cut. It looks even more like
usually I feel like
Gallywag.
The wild beard.
See it?
Maybe motherfuckers.
We got him some new gauges. This is like pirate who's like coming into port. You know what I'm saying? About to hang out with the wenches. Yeah. It's with the cut. It looks even more like Gallywag. See it? Maybe I can just put this over here if we like really wanna. This is like pirate who's like coming into. It's with the cut.
Oh man, it's got like triple stuff going on.
Triple feedback.
Hello, hello.
Well, now it's not playing.
No, oh, hit play. That's there we go. Hello, hello.
Maybe I can just put this over here if we like really wanna. This is like pirate who's like coming into. With the cut.
Oh man, it's got like triple stuff going on.
Triple feedback. This is how the magic happens, folks.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Yeah.
Well, now it's not playing.
So unfortunate. What's up with this mic, bro? Hello, hello. Let me unplug. Sorry.
This is like.
Oh boy, we spilled it. We spilled soda. Well, it's a liqueur, so it's water.
Yeah, water.
Got like triple stuff going on.
That's how the magic happens, folks.
Hello, hello. All over the keyboard, folks.
One day, people are going to be paying us millions of dollars to just watch us like bumble around the office and like knock stuff over. This is the future.
Oh boy, we spilled it.
Authenticity.
All right. We're gonna figure out this mic thing before we get before the episode going.
Water. Look at me cleaning on camera. You guys get to see a rare event. One day, people are going to be paying us millions of dollars to just watch us like bumble around the office and like knock stuff over.
Yo. I've got like this playing on 3 different
Meta.
Well, hold on, it's too much for me. Yo. Okay. Zeb, are we working?
The shared mic works. Oh, and he says, I hear you.
There it is. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Appreciate that.
Well.
Yes.
Praise the Lord.
Praise
and Zeb.
Did you catch the early opening? I hope we can get that opening. You know, can we do that over now? Now that the mic's working, can we? I'm gonna turn it off to the starting screen. You give us that opening, babe.
Okay, I think they could hear me. Okay.
I know, but just to piece it all together, we have this now 3 minutes of us working on that. Ready? All right, we're gonna start over, y'all.
All right.
For that.
Take 2. This is how the magic happens. Okay. What was the song? Okay. When Jesus is on hot mic, a constant friend is he.
Yes, girl. Yeah.
His eye is on Billy and Sheba. And I know he watches over we.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Yes, that is from Sister Act 2, which I have seen many times. And yeah. That was right when they figured out Lauryn Hill can sing.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey guys.
What up?
We're back.
It's episode 15.
Yeah, episode 15. Wow, so proud of us. We've been doing it.
We're still going.
Yeah.
Break, but the breaks are cool.
Yeah.
And but also what's even cooler is actually getting on and talking and doing our thing. So
yeah, so fun.
Last
week, the night before, we went to an SEX party. Mm-hmm. So on Sunday, we were tired and we just like slept all day and had so much fun. Had to recharge. Yeah. So I just wanted to brag a little bit about how fun and interesting our lives are. So, but now we're back. But yeah, now we're back to share and talk about some things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had a whole thing about we have kind of been thinking about how to talk about this, but it's a necessary thing.
This is the religion episode. Yeah. This is like, there's so many things going on right now that keeps pulling us back to like, what is going on? Like, these are big questions. We're seeing what's going on in people's heads. Ted Cruz is telling us about what's going on in his head. The Israelis are telling us about their beliefs and why they think they can do the things that they can do and get away with it. A lot of Christians believe it too here in this country.
Yes.
conversations about chosen this and that. Let's like what is this?
Yeah.
And can other shows really tackle this?
They can't.
They can't. But
it's us. It's us.
It's us, baby.
Perfect.
So we're gonna start.
Here we are.
We're gonna start the show, and the first thing I want to do is to kind of set us up. There's a lot to really talk about. We have some clips we're gonna go through as we typically do on Hot Mic. But I want to start us off with this comment that my homie put on Facebook.
Reverend Common B Player.
Yes, fantastic person. This is their Facebook, and I'm going to zoom in and let's take a look at this statement. And I'll read it and I'll kind of explain why I think it's something cool to start with. Okay, they say the condition of people's souls and consciousness is on display. Listen and you can hear them praising their true God.
Mm-hmm.
They posted this on September 12th, so about 2 weeks ago. So much stuff is happening all the time. The news cycle's insane. So I can't even remember exactly what was going on around then. But, you know, this to me really, the thing that's powerful about it is that it doesn't even really matter what's going on. It's not a topical thing. I think it's true all of the time. The condition of people's souls and consciousness is on display. When you see someone acting in a certain way, you are seeing a display of their soul and their consciousness manifesting in subtle, sometimes not so subtle ways.
Yeah, and so not just like acting, like what they wear, what they, choose to say, what stories they choose to tell, how they tell it. It tells you about who they praise, who their true God is.
Who they praise, their intentions.
Yeah.
All of it is all part of what is, and we only have just a few labels as we describe each other. I think we separate ourselves and we have distinctions based on silly shit, gender and skin color and nationality and immigration status and shit like this. But that, like, when we talk about a true God, we're talking about like what is actually motivating people and beyond symbols. Beyond symbols. This is why the second part, listen and you can hear them praising their true God. It's beyond like, oh, this person carries a cross a lot, or this person uses the word Christian to describe themselves. Okay, now I know about them. I know things about them. Not really actually. You're gonna have to notice and listen and see how they move. Over time. Yeah.
Show listen and you can hear like what they're actually afraid of, what they actually value,
what they're motivated by,
what they're actually submitting to.
Beyond like scriptural texts and shit, it's like, who are you?
Exactly.
And we're seeing that. And I think there's something special about what I said. You see it all the time. There's something about difficult times. There's something about times like now where there's so much tumult and violence and political manipulation and uncertainty and misinformation and confusion. These are the times that are squeezing people, I feel. And it's because it's squeezing, and there's economic turmoil and uncertainty about the future, job markets and this and that, financial distress. And so it's really squeezing people. And so we're seeing more who people are.
Yeah. I think an old white man said, these are the times that try men's souls. And the souls are being tried. And I mean, some of them, I don't think they're going to like the judgment that comes out.
They're not going to like the judgment.
I don't think they're going to like the decision.
Yeah, this is some wild stuff we're living through.
Yeah. Totally.
But what's the other word? They say, the other phrase. Easy times make strong man. No, how does it go? Difficult times make strong man. And then
No. I think it's easy times make weak men.
Easy time makes weak. It's both, right? Easy times make weak men. And then difficult times make strong men.
When? Where's it in a strong man? When have we seen strong men?
That's the second part. That
what we talking about?
To it is that these motherfuckers, the people who say that quote most often, are the weak men.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But like these are difficult times, and like I'm not seeing it turn people into like strong men.
You are seeing it, baby. Notice it. Notice you're seeing the strong men and women who are being transformed and stepping up. It's not in the largest number that we would hope them to be, right? But you do notice them. It's changed you. The world has changed you, has it not?
Yes, that's true.
And you're not alone. So there's that.
But I'm a woman.
But you're a woman.
I'm gonna need the men to set their pussy up, okay? Sorry, I'm not just giving you compliments. Yeah. Not while I see all these people getting murked.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. We're gonna start off with this. Are we gonna start with this one? Is what we want, or we wanted the?
Oh yeah, that Jewish supremacist.
Yeah, let me go to full screen first, and full screen. And where did you send me that?
That's in the hot mic.
Instagram, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have some clips we're gonna go through, and just showing different mindsets and different what we just said. Here we go, and we're gonna split screen and let's talk about this. Sheba, you said this to me earlier today.
Yes.
Read the Old Testament because, like,
it says kill children.
I mean, it says don't fuck around.
And then to kill children if you have to.
It says don't fuck around.
And so kill that, you translate that to mean kill children if you have to.
You should read the Old Testament.
So you can kill 400,000 children.
So you should probably work on your math skills.
So what you're doing is you're hurting the reputation of Judaism and the Old Testament. You're staining it. You're staining the reputation of the Old Testament. You're speaking for thou shalt not kill and Moses, and you're saying that it says thou shalt kill for the sake of protecting Israel.
No, but legit, you should read.
Okay, I'll read it, but I know that Moses and Jesus, he was a prophet of mine too. I'm Muslim, so I know that he does not advocate for the killing of children.
Oh, well,
doesn't it say something about those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who?
No, that was made up by a guy in contemporary times. That was made up. It's not true.
We're getting a lesson here.
Yeah, you are getting a lesson.
Okay.
Look it up. It was made up. That's not true. So that conflicts with your principle. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill. Follow Moses' and Jesus's principles and the 10 Commandments. Think about it. I want you to think. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm trying to make you think. I want your conscience to awaken and know that you think it's funny, but one day your conscience is going to hit you and you're going to feel really sad about that. You're going to feel super sad.
That's my conscience.
I think it's time to.
Hold on, let me get the full screen on you. Wow.
I think it's time to stop getting them to think. I think it's time to start attacking them. You see that black woman?
What was that black woman?
Wrong and evil. Damn.
The white woman, they both
wrong and evil, but really, exactly. It's sad that like the black woman thought she was like coming to the defense with like a worse, flimsier, stupider argument. It's like, girl, just get in the elevator and shut the fuck up.
Why? How so much confidence? Walking around the Capitol building, her response to the genocide that's happening, this guy notes how many children have been murdered, and they literally are using pre-crime to say that it's okay, with the notion, the idea that these are future terrorists. And she's walking around the Capitol building, that's in the United States Capitol, confidently saying that the Old Testament, that there's some claim she can make about the Old Testament.
Like,
what is that?
If like is that okay for like Muslim people to do, to like base their actions on the Old Testament?
On the Old Testament, on any text, on any
religious made up freaking book.
The challenge is that people have their books and their beliefs and their traditions from their communities, and we want a world where people are entitled to that. I
want a world where like people who worship
children, you can't, like, you can't come, and then you can't justify it with something about the Old Testament.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm saying. Exactly. But I think it's crazy that like if someone was talking about like Zeus says that we're allowed to do it, we would think they were stupid and crazy, and we wouldn't be like, well, everyone deserves the chance to have like we'll be like, no, you dumb.
Yes, exactly.
You dumb as hell.
That would be the right answer.
You're dumb and you're crazy, and I should read the book that says it's okay to kill people, like kill children. Shut the hell up, girl. Get out of my face.
That's insane.
What?
We have way too much. I mean, we take pride in being a tolerant society, and I think it's important to be that. But everything has their limits, and it's so funny to see people, not only this crazy woman, but like someone like Sam Harris. Sam Harris is a renowned atheist. He built his whole career on the idea that something about religious belief makes us loony, and we have to get away from it. Society would be better without religious belief. I was compelled by this. My period of atheism was fueled by reading Sam Harris and reading Christopher Hitchens and people like this. You know, I'm in a place where I understand that there is something that the sciences can't answer for us, that historians can't tell us. There's a deeper set of things that humans haven't written down yet.
That religion also has not gotten it. Exactly. Like, you're right. Like humans have not written it down yet, the thing that has happened. So all these religions that claim that their book contains it doesn't. Shut up. Y'all are crazy.
It doesn't. But there's a political partnership that's happened, it seems.
Exactly. That is the thing.
But
yeah.
It uses a lot of religious language.
Yeah, it's a good way to like trick dum-dums into doing what, whatever the people in power want them to do.
Yeah.
But it's not a great way to access, source.
Yeah.
And goodness and love and oneness.
And to reach whether we call it nirvana or heaven, to reach that state of love and beauty, to understand that I don't think it's in the skies in that way that sometimes we need notions of like, we need distance and shit like this. We need to visualize.
God is out there.
But it is in you. It is your experience. It is your interconnection with yourself and with the external world. And that, man, I think some of the old religions were attempts from a previous time.
Yeah.
But at every stage, you're talking about men writing things down.
Yeah.
Deleting things, editing things.
Yeah.
Constantly seeming to not understand that women have also genius.
Yeah, it's like they're all in agreement on like how to treat women. Like, women are definitely subclass.
They just can't. Women can't reach God.
Exactly. God. Like, we can at least all agree that the men should be in charge. It's like, wow, you got that's what you guys came to agreement over. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nutty, and you see it in the stories, right? Like, why? How come there's no woman in the triune notion of God, right?
Exactly. It's like, yeah, men so mad that they can't create life, they have to like create a God, create a religion, in which all of the creation of life is a man.
It's just, these are symbols. Is what it is. Like, these are, the Holy Father is a symbol, and it's a symbol that was chosen by men. You know what I mean? Like, and these Bibles were interpreted, and the history is right there. So why? How do people like just push that history aside?
I don't know. I think it's because like so many, like, we've all been taught that we're allowed to let people push the history aside, and like people are allowed to just have their religions, and we can't talk about religion, and you can't make people feel bad for their religion. But like, I mean, that's why we're here. Like, having one and two religions, Christianity and Judaism, responsible for the overwhelming degree of violence, state violence, in recent years. And like, we also let them, like, people who have that kind of thinking, that magical thinking, that kind of, just believing stuff without evidence. We also give them all the power. I don't even know what I'm talking about. We had I lost my train of thought. I'm so heated.
We have a system though that tries to say, right, but they're cutting against this, right? There's always been people who hated the idea of separating church and state. It is, you don't want to tell people how to think. That's the challenge, right? So this is why you want to be in a tolerant society where you allow people their thoughts. But in the political space, I was taught that we have mechanisms to separate this. We don't have that anymore. And the thing about it is, the ones who are pushing this are the worst people.
And especially, like, I mean, okay, then Israel is wrong then. Like, if they're trying to...
That's the thing. They concoct an entirely different thing for Israel in this moment. So even the people who are... Sam Harris, an atheist, thinks that religion is a mental illness, literally. I mean, he looks over at the settlers in the West Bank and doesn't have that critique.
Like, how do they not see then, like, okay, then it is a society populated by and run by mentally ill people, and they're, like, murdering everyone and lying. And
absurd.
It's crazy to me that, like, they keep expecting us to, like, be like, no, they're the reasonable ones. The Israelis are the ones we have to support. What? Why? They're obviously the bad guys. It's like...
It's crazy.
It's so crazy.
But it's a combination. Now we're looking just now at the combination of like political narrative control. Netanyahu says he wants to get TikTok. He needs to get TikTok. He says that Elon Musk is a friend. He's going to talk to Elon Musk for X. He's going to... They're just going to control the narrative. They're going to control the algorithms.
Which is all they can do.
This control thing. We realized that what is it? Islam means submission. It literally means submission. And is it Judaism or...
Israel means wrestling with God.
Which is
so interesting. I feel like that's like really what we're seeing is like, the Israelis and their supporters are trying to like wrestle with God for power. They like want to be in this godlike position where they can kill whoever they want and they're all good and all loving. Anything they do is evidence of their love and power and greatness.
Of their specialness.
Exactly.
I mean, there's the chosen people narrative is, I grew up with it as just a sort of a joke, as a benign joke. I had Jewish friends in Brooklyn who would bring it up every now and again, the tribe and the chosen. Just playful, doesn't mean much, but in this moment, as we were saying, in this moment of tension, you see that it's actually manifesting in, like, people are making real arguments from that place.
Yeah.
Arguments for some of the most obscene things.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're...
and they've got like black people there to go, yeah, that's right. Jewish people should be able to do whatever they want. Didn't it say that in the Bible? Oh no, some white guy added that later. Okay, never mind.
Crazy.
Girl, shut up.
Isn't this a mixture?
It's a mixture.
They're hold on. Let's go to the second part here. The second clip we got. Split screen. And
this story is a textbook example.
This is about Christian Zionism now and how it came to be.
Of how religion manipulates politics. There are millions and millions more Christian Zionists than there are Jewish Zionists.
Where does my support for Israel come from? Number one, because biblically we are commanded to support Israel.
We are commanded as Christians to support the government of Israel?
But how did Christian Zionism take a hold of America? It all started with a Bible called the Scofield Bible, written by a charlatan lawyer named Cyrus Scofield in 1909. Yes, written. See, what was unique about this Bible is that even though it contained the Word of God, as written in the King James Version, for the first time ever, a Bible now included notes, study guides, and interpretations by the author himself. So within his notes, Scofield literally invented something called the Palestinian Covenant. And this covenant is Scofield's explanation of the verse Deuteronomy 30, where God guarantees and promises the land to the Jewish nation unconditionally. So this theory is based on something called dispensationalism, which was a very, very niche religious movement before Scofield came around. Now we know that Israel is just another name for the prophet Jacob, and he was given that name after he wrestled with God, because Israel means wrestled with God. But in the Scofield Bible, Scofield spreads this idea that Israel is a nation of God's chosen people where God has a distinct and separate plan for them. And that includes gathering Jewish people as a whole to Palestine in order to usher in the end of times and the second coming of Jesus. At that point, something called the rapture happens, where Jesus secretly comes and all of a sudden all the Christians are in a rapture and go up to the sky. And what will happen to the Jewish people down below? Well, unfortunately, 2/3 of them will perish. I swear. Completely invented. No other Bible mentions this. And of course, nowadays, they call it the Land Covenant because they don't want to say Palestinian Covenant because they don't want to even acknowledge that there's such a thing as Palestine. Now, why did Scofield, an alcoholic charlatan lawyer who went to jail for fraud, write a whole Bible? How did he fund publishing it with no wealth? Who funded Scofield's multiple trips to Europe for research? There are many theories about how this originated, including the fact that Schofield was a part of the Lotus Club, where prominent American Zionist and lawyer Samuel Untermyer also frequented, and that he used Schofield as a useful tool in order to spread Zionism in America. We may never know for sure what the origins of this whole project was, but it is very clear how it concluded. The mass influence on America that this Bible had to support the current colonial state of Israel is a matter of biblical prophecy. Free Palestine.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
The first thing I want to notice is that land covenant, which I hear a lot spoken of. And to notice that, again, what they do, the modern trick is to deny that Palestine ever existed, that it was ever Palestine, even though the maps make that clear, even though President Truman and other presidents prior talk about Palestine, even though there's currency in the whole deal. It was a land
It's in
that
Shakespeare,
existed,
too.
Yeah, and it's in Shakespeare. It's a land that existed for multiple religions, Christians, Jews, and Muslims lived on their land. What we had in post World War II, was the effort to make it an apartheid state, to make it a secure and
a Jewish supremacist
state. So that's the first thing. But here's just a clear thing. Like a lot of these things, when you talk about like how the Bible was edited, we would struggle to do so. Like you'd have to go deep into like the history. This one is not that deep.
Yeah, it's like
right
been like 120 years since this edition was put in, and
yet
like it's so powerful. We're such a story based species. It's like you just give us a story. Now we're like, oh, God did it.
Yeah.
There's no other explanation. Even though, like literally they just invented that. I think that's so interesting. I didn't know that Israel means wrestles with God. And Islam means submits to God, like,
or submission.
Yeah. Like, whoa. And I think that's really beautiful and brilliant. Yeah. I think, Muslim people have been doing a really, really, really good job of like showcasing the best of Islam and the teachings. Whereas I feel like Jewish people have been doing a really, really bad job of promoting, advocating for Judaism as a faith or, philosophy that anyone should follow. Because they're always just like, well, look in the Bible. It says we can kill as many children as we want.
Yeah, I mean, that video clip is terrible. I mean, the challenge is, Sheebs, and this is why we're going to do this full conversation about religions in general. I mean, what you said there, I want to just push back. I don't think, you can look at people who claim Judaism and see a lot of terrible, fake bullshit, violent bullshit. And you can look at Christians, people who claim that, and you can see a lot of fake, violent bullshit. And the same is true with Islam. And,
I think in this time when Jewish people and Christians are colluding to commit a horrific genocide against people of all faiths, but mainly Muslims, and I'm seeing the victims of this genocide being practitioners of Islam, I see their behavior and
the victims. Okay.
The victims. I see how they are responding. They're not acting as the Jewish people are acting when they feel their faith attacked, when they feel like they're being attacked for their faith. I just see the Muslim people, all the people of Palestine, just acting with great faith and dignity. And they're like, our faith says we can't kill these people. Like, we're not killing children. We're doing all of these things. No, I think Jewish people are talking about how they can do whatever they want. Like, they're saying, like, their religion says they are entitled to do whatever they want in order to keep themselves alive. And I'm not seeing that from the people who are being genocided.
Yeah, I think that everything is perspective, and I think that I think there's going to be a lot of, and there probably are already a lot of people shifting their faith towards Islam. You see great examples of like Palestinians suffering and somehow still holding to like their traditions,
giving so much thanks to God. Like
and it's really wild because we have a history in this country of trying to criticize Islam and to people say that Islam is not compatible with the West and shit like this. Very terrible. See, these are the kinds of absolute sentences I want to avoid. It's not true. You can point to something. There is something that is unique in parts of the world, and then you can say this is ugly and disgusting, and this is not blah, blah, blah. And then you can ignore, because you want that story, you can ignore all the beautiful expressions of Islam happening in this country and in those parts of the world. Actually, there are people struggling, girls struggling to have their interpretation of Islam, and women and men. And so I think a whole collage of things. And the same is true in the Jewish example. Is the other thing I want to say. What we're looking at, that woman in the fucking elevator was absolutely abhorrent. She's actually frightening, her confidence, And then you have all these other expressions, and I want us to make sure we say accurate sentences because so it gets weird.
The accurate sentence is that Jewish people have behaved really poorly over the past 2 years. They've allowed Israelis to commit a horrific genocide, lie about it, do assassinations everywhere, and
Israelis in particular have like a 70+% support for what's happening.
And then like in America, you're not seeing synagogues doing anything about that. You do see them holding illegal land sales. You do see them hiding behind religion in order to have these land sales. They'll have them in their synagogues. And then whenever someone's just trying to talk to someone about it, like, what are you guys doing? They're like, oh no, read the Bible. It says we can do whatever we want. That's what I see Jewish people doing.
Yeah, there's
a too small minority of Jewish people who are
actively
doing
loud in opposition to what's going on.
Exactly, like
not just
loudly on the right side of history.
The truth is, whatever the vast majority, and this is the challenge, the vast majority of people are just cowards generally. They go along with shit.
Yeah.
And you're watching that in the Israeli case, you're watching that in the Jewish American case, you're watching that in the Christian American case. But in this case, you're saying, and South Park just did an episode where I think they were trying to, it was interesting, they had this about like the role that Jewish Americans need to play as Israel does its thing. As 2 years ago when Netanyahu asked everybody to put the flag up on their profile pictures, we saw a lot of flags, and so there's this sort of...
The Israelis are saying they're doing this for all Jews. They're very clear about that. They're carving, the Star of David, symbols of Judaism into the flesh of the Muslim people whose land they're stealing. And Jewish people are not having in mass are not having the appropriate reaction that would make me say like, oh yeah, they're being a great representative of their religion.
Yeah, I think without a doubt, there's even in the U.S. context, there's I don't know what the numbers are, but there's just a quiet support or a quiet sort of hope that it'll end quickly,
and like not just end quickly, like end in a specific way.
With Israel continuing to have its sway over that land, to maybe even extend it further. Whatever Netanyahu wants, I did an episode where I lost some friends over this. And one of my friends, old high school buddy, Jewish guy, from Ukraine, whose family's from Ukraine, entire bloodline goes back to Eastern Europe. But he has a legal and emotional attachment to Israel. And when I asked him about what was going on with the genocide, he got so uncomfortable, and he told me he wanted to only talk about pleasantries. I was asking, like, really just sort of like, so what do you think is going on? He's like, but I'd rather not talk about these things. These are tough times. I know people in the IDF and people are struggling, and I know I have my Palestinian friends he threw out as well. And so I asked him, and so he said, but I'm with the Jewish people, is what he said. And so I asked him, does that mean
which ones?
Netanyahu, the Jewish? Is that because I know dozens of Jews who are
Jewish Voices for Peace, or
the Jewish
then
people.
That's
This again. For him. That's a incomplete or a vague answer. It's a vague sentence. It doesn't intentionally. He's avoiding what he should be pointing to, and so he says, "I'm with the Jewish people." And when I challenged him, I said, "Yeah, was it Netanyahu or the thousands of activists who were Jewish?" He actually said that I was being aggressive, and he said we needed to take a pause on our friendship,
which is an answer. He's telling you, and like what was Carmen saying? Yeah, he's telling you who his God is: Israel, a state, a white supremacist apartheid state, and so that's why it's easy for me to like, you know, switch between like, yeah, Jewish people, you're not doing enough. This is all made up, and you guys are letting this made up story like stop you from doing the right thing.
Yeah. The challenge is there. We're just this is such a horrific time where
unprecedented.
Everyone needs to be, you know, all hands on deck.
Yeah.
And regardless of the faith tradition you hold, because again, these Christians who stand in support as well are confused. They are confused. You know, God is not these texts. I was taught that everything I needed to know was in this book called the Bible. That was a confusion. And
because it's like, how is this all powerful, limitless God contained in a book?
It can't be. It doesn't. You know, the minute you understand anything about what words are, you understand that. If you and it's easy to understand that when you look at journalism today. There are things that happened last week,
literally,
that other people who wrote the story about that thing have imprinted their values and their fears and their lack of understanding, their ignorance on.
Yeah.
So you're reading that.
Yeah.
You're not engaging with what is.
Yeah.
And you have to be ever present about that. Now that shit last week, you talking about things from 2,000 years ago? You know? I did an episode the other day about this too, that like not only the book from 2,000 years ago, but the experience, the idea of magic, the idea of like the biblical times was full of all these like miracles and things. Also, that only then?
No more miracles.
It's now.
And it's like, okay, like, you know, the miracles, whatever the miracles of the Bible were, like, we don't count, like, going to the moon.
Right.
Space travel.
See,
the phone.
All of it.
Like, exactly. A car. Like, you don't think they would have considered that magic? But, like, now we just get so... Magic. We just, we're taught to not see the magic anymore.
It's a human feature. Like, we don't appreciate shit.
Actually, that reminds me, there's this part in the Bible, Jesus is talking about, because I always think it's so funny that, like, okay, in the Bible, like, God, like, parts the Red Seas in order to help the Israelites escape from Egypt. And, like, a couple years later, they're like, build us a golden calf. We want to worship a golden calf. Like, you just saw the divine force part an ocean for you, and you're already like, no, I want this other God. Like, damn. So 2,000 years later, I'm not at all surprised that they now have their golden calf of Israel.
You've got to actually engage with the God that is in and around you at all times.
Yeah.
The words and these stories are not the thing. Go ahead.
Okay, in Matthew 12:42, so this one applies to the Christians too. Jesus said that the Queen of Sheba will rise at the judgment with this generation and condemn it, for she came from the ends of the earth to listen to the wisdom of Solomon. And look, something greater than Solomon is here, but she refused to listen. Okay, so the wisdom of Solomon is his union and connection with God. And Jesus is saying, like, I'm right here. I am the connection to God, and you guys still don't care?
So Sheba wasn't fucking with Jesus? Is that what's going on?
No.
But listening to Jesus, she wasn't in is that what he said at the end? She wasn't.
So she's saying that she would be judging all the contemporaries. She's long dead.
Right.
You know, this like Queen of Sheba is and Solomon are Old Testament. And so Jesus wasn't born yet. So they still knew of these old kings and these stories and things, okay? So he was saying that the Queen of Sheba in order to seek God, traveled all this way to go seek out King Solomon just so she could know God better. And here you guys have God because I'm Jesus. And what is it? You still don't, but you refuse to listen.
Gotcha.
Here, and look, something greater than Solomon's wisdom is here, but you refuse to listen. So he's saying that like the Queen of Sheba would have been condemning you guys. He's like, you have Jesus.
They don't listen to the wisdom, man.
Literally.
It's easier. It's easier, perhaps. It's certainly more ubiquitous, right? The dumb shit is everywhere. The distractions are everywhere. The hate and the fuckery is everywhere.
Yeah,
and then you get a whiff of like the real shit of truth, and people get weird. People don't take it on. I had to tell my friend. He said we needed a pause. My reply was, I don't know about a pause. I don't know if we come back.
Yeah.
After something like this, I asked some very simple questions. Like, we're not 14. I'm not here to do pleasantries. We're not in high school anymore.
And like, what does he bring to the table? What would he bring to the table that would be so valuable that you would still want to like maintain a pleasant, fake ass friendship with him? Please.
There's nothing there, man. I'm like, yo, this is of value. He actually referenced, he was saying how Jews are in danger, and he referenced a news story about something in Amsterdam. And he said that there's a pogrom in Amsterdam, and that he was around there, and so I go, I'm actually someone paying very close attention to this with an emphasis in media literacy and an understanding of this stuff. So I knew exactly the story he was talking about. And I sent him the article showing that it wasn't that. Actually, the mayor of that town had to sort of clarify that actually it was a sporting event, and that there were some Israeli hooligans that were starting trouble.
And they were specifically like chanting death to Arabs, like they do.
All the children in
like
Palestine, shit like this. And so they was vandalizing stuff, and so they got like the people got at them, and he turned it into this victimhood story as part of this thing about why it's so sensitive and why I should never talk about it.
And that's the thing that I'm talking about that Jewish people are doing. They're being super bad representatives of their faith. They're doing the worst things in the world, and then saying like, oh, it's because I'm Jewish that people are mad at us. Like,
unfortunately, this dude's definitely doing that.
Yes. And he's not a rare case. He's probably very, pedestrian. He's a very common, average, representative white man of his socioeconomic class in New York.
One of the things I think is important, though, is to, I don't know, give love to the Jacob Berger actor, right? Give love to the people, and I'm not because like all the activists, all the people who are doing. What I'm saying is like
we really have to unlearn centering Jewish people. We really have to unlearn centering white people in this thing.
You just said you did center them, right? You're saying that they're
doing a bad job.
They need to step up. So I'm saying
they need to decenter themselves and go to the nearest Palestinian and ask whatever they can do. Ask what they can do and then do it. And don't come up with I don't want to. But then like people would, they have to literally humble themselves, submit, start to because they are treated as white people, because they are white people, they can't fathom that
yeah. Well, the other thing is that it's completely absurd. It's completely backwards, upside down.
Yes.
Lies. It's all
exactly.
Lies. There's nothing. If we were to go down that conversation with that dude, my friend, it's no way that he couldn't articulate an argument that would be coherent and not sociopathic. Everything that Netanyahu's been doing over the last 2 years, the last 70 years, certainly for the last 30 even, when I'm talking about the different so-called peace talks and the ways that there was all these opportunities to have peace that he and the Israelis undercut, the assassinations of Israeli leaders, of Palestinian leaders.
That's another thing.
Violence.
Yeah, literally. It's like just so violent. And I think too, like sometimes like we'll have this idea of like, well, not all the Israelis like agree with Netanyahu, but like haven't they elected him to power like 6 times, and isn't it the only democracy in the Middle East? So now you're telling me that they actually don't all agree with the person they've elected democratically? Shut up. Stop.
Whatever. That's the other thing, is right, there's a special like this Hasbara thing, which is a kind of language and narrative control mechanism. It's defined straightly as explaining, but it's an Israeli construction it's called explaining, which is its benign definition. It's an Israeli construction of narrative control and language manipulation, such that any opportunity for narrative, so any way to squeak out of the truth of the genocide can be squeaked out. Any way to justify occupation, to justify more land theft, there will be a narrative that will be constructed for it. There is a way to make it so with a story.
The video you just showed of that woman was talking about whatever the guy's name, Samuel Cartwright, but for Zionism. It's like the Hasbara Bible, you know? It's like where they do all their explaining, making up a story, and putting all their cliff notes and things so that you know how to interpret it, because you wouldn't naturally interpret it in the way that they want you to interpret it. But yeah, it's like, you know, Europeans, white people, lots of us, all of us, we are capable of it. But I think white people are very good at creating a narrative. I think in all of the clips we've had so far, like white people are just like making up a narrative, not based in anything real other than their own desire for how they want to see the world, and just being like, oh, you're stupid if you didn't read the Bible. You don't know what's in there. Oh, you didn't. And they just like write whatever they want. And we all really need to like adopt that for ourselves.
How sad is that? Can you turn the fan on actually?
Yeah.
Hit that 3 on there, baby. How sad is that actually, that when we understand the power of like narratives like this, that even that black woman who showed up, right? Like how many of our narratives, of our histories, of our faith traditions, of our approaches to the divine that were relevant in West Africa and in the Caribbean that have been taken from us, where many of us take that story on.
I just saw like McGraw-Hill, who were like the publishers of all of our textbooks growing up, both Israelis.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Israelis engaged with the arts and the journalism and these realms of societal building.
Of whiteness.
They engaged with them actively.
Yes, because they were white. I just think that's like an important thing to keep putting on, because they try to hide behind the idea that they're, what? White supremacy? We couldn't be colonizers. We're the victims. We're not white people. And it's like, babe, yeah, you are. That's why you're able to change your name. And no one knows that you're the thing that allegedly makes you not white. Yeah. But yeah, they do get into like they put themselves in storytelling areas. The media, Hollywood, entertainment, government, schools. And so, yeah, now it's, you know, things that are actually quite recent, man-made political additions. So many of us have, like, accepted as
And now we're watching,
truth.
frankly, I mean, as Trump is attacking PBS and NPR and the Department of Education, and they're doing all the books over, they got new contracts with new people. In place of PBS is going to be PragerU, which is this like Christian Zionist lunatic, Dennis Prager, who is, you know, PragerU is like this vanity project of his, vanity media project in it, but it identifies as a university. It has nothing to do with university. It's just a clown thing. But our kids, the children are going to have to, I don't know what, like, who's working on this? Someone has to push back against this stuff, because the stuff we were taught was already some sort of a washed down, watered down thing, but at least it had some acknowledgement of the ugliness of slavery and Jim Crow on some level. I mean, the kids are now, the goal is to push that down even further, so that the story of all these white settlers in America will be without any flaws, just a flawless project. I really think he's learning from the Netanyahu project. The Netanyahu and them, they instituted a notion of Israel's inception, which was just flawless and an expression of defense against the hordes of European evil people, and then the Arabs who hate them for no reason altogether.
No, it's because they're hateful barbarians. That's why they hate them.
Yeah.
But it's also, you know, like the Israelis, like the Nazis, learned from the US. And so I want us to like not be so like we have this fear of course what these new textbooks are going to be, but like I don't think we've fully incorporated that the old textbooks were written by the same people actually, and like what little they did do of, you know, any Black history was actually really harmful. It got us all to think that the best we can do is to just be included in this racist system rather than like liberate ourselves from it. So I think, yeah, we gotta unlearn. We gotta deprogram ourselves.
Seriously, the Black historians and the Black narratives. I mean, we just don't. The stuff we were taught, like even every history, every word is dripping with a set of like assumptions and preconditions and like
racism and bias.
And you have to understand that every story, you just can't avoid that. And this is what the journalists don't get either, as they try to pretend that, you know, the shit that they say is some objective truth. It just isn't. It just isn't.
It's like I've been learning so much about truth and all these things, and also journalism from Palestinians. Like they're showing me like, oh, it's not just about like who's gonna pay you to do the story.
Exactly.
You're supposed to tell the truth.
You see how that is?
Even if you're gonna get killed.
It's the something like this horrific genocide puts us in a position to see the value of truth. So all these things like journalism, so many people in the field right now thought that it was just, oh, I get to be famous actually. I get to be an actor, except the script is kind of more important stuff, sort of. But but now in this tumult, in this situation, no, we need truth tellers. We don't need actors who deal in, you know what I'm saying, like
performance.
The news, who deal in news. We need it's actually compelling something deeper. And I think a lot, that's why there's so many upheavals in the media space right now, partly because the actual journalists who are trying to give accurate language to reality, you know, have to be expelled by a system that wasn't built for that.
Yeah. Which, like, you know, everything like is happening for us if we want it to. And so like, great, like, you know, not everyone can, you know, be on their morals like you and leave and go pursue the truth, even when they're making money. And so like a lot of these people need to be expelled, because otherwise they would just let the money keep them small and, you know, keep saying little mealy-mouthed, you know, things that like do the bare minimum of like kind of like journalism, and it's still not enough. So like, yeah, like if you're not going to be able to like say the truth, leave.
You gotta leave.
Go.
Get out of here.
And like, I wouldn't let them fire me, please. You can't fire me. You're working for me. I quit.
I'm out of here.
Exactly. You can't fire me. I quit.
No, it felt good to quit.
Yeah. Quitting feels so good too. Like, I don't know why more people don't
quit, right?
Quit.
I'm out.
Like, we have this idea of like, you know, oh yeah, you can't fire me, I quit. Or like, if I win the lottery, I'm going to be like, fuck you people. Yeah. You know, you can do that even if you don't win the lottery. And maybe, I think the universe rewards you being like, nope, not good enough for me. You blocking my blessings. And the universe was like, good, you've passed the test. Here's the greater, you know,
it's gonna give you a new test. I mean, honestly, I'll just tell you about my experience. I mean, it's gonna give you a different kind of test. And I'll tell you what, you keep walking through them, grounded in yourself, grounded in your intuition, in your truth. At some point, you find a place, and that place will be you, and you'll be the place that you created.
Yeah.
And you won't be stuck second guessing your words as so many people over in these media organizations have to do. There's a set of words they can't touch. Genocide, even though it's true. Occupation, even though it's true. That's in the political space, but even in the personal space, man, this is where we took. There's so many things about you that society, one way or the other, or your career, your notion of your career uplift tells you that you should avoid this, and you should, and in fact, like, that's exactly where you should go. That's actually if you want to grapple with God, you want to grapple with what is, and rather than, it's not about subduing it. It's about grappling to then incorporate. It means actively being the person who leaves spaces that aren't for you and steps into places that are for you.
Yeah.
But it's not easy though, right? That's the thing. I mean, actually, it's funny.
I kept thinking of it when I was about to leave. I was like, the hard thing that I can't imagine is having to show my face at the office in September. You know, like, if I haven't left by then, if I have to have another, what do you call it, performance appraisal, like, that is hard. That would be too hard for me. It's too hard for me to fake it. I don't care. This is stupid. I think the people I work with are cowards, and we're doing a bad thing by, you know, refusing to use our voice freely so that we can take a paycheck. Like, that's the wrong thing. And so I was like, that's painful. Yeah. That's too painful.
Real talk. I mean, when I think about it, it was very painful at the time going to work. They even transitioned after COVID and had us laptops working from home. They figured it out. And we're working from home, and just like booting up that computer and getting the email about like what our story was about, something with Trump and blah, blah, blah. And all this distracting nonsense, and then like these bad narratives, and just knowing I was a part of it. And like I said to you, yo, if I'm not out of here in a year, I will have failed, or something like this. I said.
Yeah, you'll feel like a
failure, or at least I said I would feel like I was out within a year, man. Like, you really, and then other things just kind of like some projects came to help me over, and something happened, and it's a labyrinth of like personal reflection, and it's like, who are you now? Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
And it's like right when you think you can't, right when you think you're in trouble,
just in the nick of time,
presents itself. It's really nutty.
Yeah. It's really like a movie, you know, and it's just like, you know, they never, like, they have to disarm a bomb, you know, that's going to go off, and there's a countdown, you know, and they never get it with like 45 seconds to go. You know,
2 hours to go. Or something like that.
Exactly. You know, they get it down to last second.
Yeah.
So it's like, think of it as like, it's efficient. When you need to know, you will. And so if you don't know, guess you don't need to know.
It's wild somehow, and this is like the letting go part, you know. This is why when I paused when I said it was hard, because
like that's also a story.
It's a story. It's both, bro. And it's like 15 years ago, I wouldn't, you know, I'd probably flip away from this, talking about it was both hard and easy. Like, what am I saying? You know what I mean? Like, it's my language limits my ability to explain what I'm describing here, but it is both a terrifying thing to be uncertain about what the next thing is, especially if you've grown accustomed to that certainty.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, the levels that come your way as you keep going, as you never stop, as you don't look back, as you keep going, trust and keep going, faith.
Don't look back.
Keep going. It's blissful, and it's easy, and it gets easier.
Yes.
It gets easier over time.
Yeah. Because like the more you like, you prove like, oh man, when I step out into the unknown, I'm always supported.
Yeah.
It always works out better than I think. I always get more. So, ipso facto, if I step out into the unknown again, it's probably going to work out better than I expect. So you start to like be excited, be like, ooh, I wonder what it's going to be now.
And here it is again. You have to tell it a more complex story. So yeah, like I think sometimes when I take a risk on something, I might be feeling the same pain in my stomach, the same feeling, the same gooey thing, But 2 years ago, it was enough to go, you know, I gotta sit down. I'm really worried. And now I can laugh. I can go, there it is. There it is. Yeah, I'm doing something big. I'm doing something. This is another one of those things. That's the same feeling. It's just my interpretation of the feeling is larger, and it's a bit more familiar. It's not fully familiar. It's still new shit, but it's like my story. I know that I'm moving. I know what the end is. I know who I am. I know where I'm going, and so these are all sort of prerequisites to that. It's okay.
Yeah. Now you're not reading that feeling as like a sign that you should go back, that you're doing the wrong thing. You know, you're like, oh great, this is a sign that this is important. That this is like I'm really being intentional. I'm really doing a thing that's like rooted in my self-direction rather than what everyone else thinks of me.
Ooh. Now I think that that's God somehow. That process is what is. And you know, as we describe this thing, and as we can go further into it, we can start bringing up language like vibration and such. This is just language that is like, I want to speak to the idea that like you get to this language where if you're attached to that old Bible, the Schofield Bible, or the dispensational Bible, whatever, when someone starts talking about universe and starts talking about this connection with God and how your life has a path and a journey and this vibration, if you can be attached to this old shit and be unable to engage with language that simply gives you a deeper engagement. Like it could be exactly what Jesus was pointing to, except he spoke in the language that he had, and what we're reading is the language. Obviously, it's not the same Aramaic that Jesus was speaking. We're reading the interpretation of the language, translated.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, like that's so funny. I was thinking about like how, I don't know, it's like things want to be known. I think that like, you know, God wants to be explored. Like I like when someone is curious about me, when they take an interest in me, when they like notice things that I didn't even notice. I'm like, oh, whoa, yeah, maybe. And like, so probably God is the same way. So the idea that most people have gotten a story that it's wrong to question, I mean, that's why like it's wrong to question. It's wrong to explore and like come up with more than you were given. That's crazy, but like that's actually why so many people are bad at questioning authority. They might hate their boss or hate the industry they're in or the people they're around, but you know, not allowed to question it. So they have to just like complain about it and like.
See, I was raised that you were allowed to question stuff for sure, and you could talk to your pastor, but they're just gonna give you answers. Some of them are going to be deeply unsatisfying.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times, though, like when they have a question, one that they don't know, holy mystery.
Holy mystery.
And they're like, some things we're not meant to know. And they're like,
and
maybe.
There's truth to that.
Yeah.
But then, so why do we hold to...
But some things we are meant to know. And so, like, some things that they, like, say is a mystery and, like, unknowable. It's like, no, it's not. We just, you know, I've said it's unknowable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I think a lot of the things that like people like question are the man-made things. Kind of like, well, why can't women do this? Or like, why can't I like love the person I want? Then it's because God said, and it's like, well, how do we know he's right? Then it's like a holy mystery.
Yeah. It's important to examine like the stories we have in our heads, man. These different stories, whether we call them they manifested. We call them religions. We call them cults. We call them mythologies. We call them groups. You know, our groups. We can meet up on a common plane of understanding, but we've got to like know that, man. I have a different experience than you do. I have a different, you know, description of reality than the ones that you do, and this is why the whole discourse thing is important to me.
Yeah.
Let's go to the last clip.
Yeah.
White Jug.
Yeah, I think we should have like several of these about religion, man, because it's just such
it's a lot.
brilliant topic.
It's a lot. All right, here we go. Split screen. Hot mic. Boom.
Interesting, and I know a lot.
Is this playing?
A lot of people misunderstood it, so I want you to be able to say it.
This is Barry White on the Arsenio Hall show many years ago. I do this. Right here. See what happens. Oh, okay.
Interesting, and I know a lot of people misunderstood it, so I want you to be able to say it. I think it was Details magazine. You used the word God, and that's what messed everybody up. But you said something to the effect you were a self-made God. Explain it.
I made up my mind to make a change in my life when I was 16 years old. We are all gods on this planet, every man and every woman. We create life, we can take life, we control what goes into the sea, whether the fish can live or not. We decide if the trees can grow tall, we decide if the children will eat. We are very powerful beings on the planet Earth. And when I said a self-made God, I meant just what I said. Barry White changed his life. So you're right.
Yeah. And people criticized the statement?
No, not to my knowledge. It's the first time I'm hearing about it.
Yeah.
But, people tend to play down our power. Well, don't worry about it. This next guy do it, or let's ask God above to do it. There's a lot of things that has to change on this planet Earth that only we can change. And until we embrace the fact that we are as powerful as we are as beings, we're going to continue to make the mistakes and allow the mistakes to be made, from our children to our adults to our elderly to whatever situation you want to talk about.
You said something.
Yeah, it's very so good.
You're telling me this, telling me that, say whatever thing will never go. Can you never say that I wanna get, here I am, baby, practice what you preach.
Practice what you preach, baby.
Here I am, practice what you preach.
You're so good. You're really talented. And you've got such a smooth, like, deep voice, like Barry White, too.
Barry crushed that. Barry,
yeah.
My mom used to listen to Barry.
Yeah.
All the time. On Sundays, we would clean up and listen to Barry. And but we've not listened to that. I mean, that was just some. Yeah. Barry is hitting us with some real shit there.
Absolutely. And I think, yeah, you were talking about, like, sometimes Christians, have this, like, fear of, like, talking about vibrations and, and, like, I do see Christians have this huge fear of their own power. And so they push it out onto God, and then they're just a powerless, human who can't do nothing, like, except pray. And, while white people out here doing whatever they want, making up whatever story, getting us to accept it. And, like, so many people are like, yep, I'll accept it.
I think people have to notice that.
Gotta notice.
And it all goes back again. If you could look at the history of the people who were writing the books and writing the texts, they had intentions in their writings. They were happy to teach one thing to themselves and their children, and to build up a society of empowered and powerful people over here. And then there's the black church, which has gotten which is now generations after some of the worst oppression, chattel slavery, but it's like, it still holds an imprint of, like, that story that we were told, which is a story of the meek and mild Jesus, and the, waiting.
He's waiting for someone to save us.
The heaven, the good times will be in another life, or the afterlife, or if you're lucky in your lifetime, the Savior will come.
Exactly.
But that your role is to
wait.
Just let this stuff happen.
Yep. Just wait patiently.
While other people act.
Literally.
While other people engage with their power as gods on this earth. Whether you like that word or not, it's like that wording comes from the understanding that it's all one thing.
Yeah.
And that the parts are as the same as the full.
Yeah.
That we're parts of the fullness, children of God.
Yes. If God is in an ocean, in a hurricane, in a tornado, he's also in a person.
And it speaks to the word God simply speak. I can't think of a more powerful word. We have agreed that is like God embodies something larger than the self, something
an all-powerful animating force.
Is powerful, even all-powerful, so that different gods. So it's powerful and animating. It takes action. Its words matter. Its actions matter. It creates. And so for you to engage with a different word, like motherfuckers will happily call each other nigga over and over and take on all of those assumptions.
Yes.
They take on all of the assumptions with nigga and happily and call each other that, and nobody pauses. Oh no, that's weird. Don't do that.
And when you do go like, that's weird, don't do that. They're like, oh, come on. Oh, we're just, it's all love.
It means different. I'm his brother for me. Okay, so fine. God is a word that I'm recognizing your power. I'm engaging with my power. I'm engaging with your power. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not ashamed of it. To me, much more, it's just like sometimes people call each other king and God. I'm with it, right?
Yeah.
But I do want us to be on what does it mean now? How are we engaging with it? If you're a king, what kind of a king are you? If you're a God, what kind of a God are you? What does it mean? But to really dispense with the idea that we're just like passive participants of this thing. Because while we're stuck thinking of ourselves as passive participants, that clown woman in the elevator is moving confidently and willing to justify anything. And she's an indoctrinated
Jewish supremacist.
And a Jewish supremacist who at this point feels it's her duty to be a parrot and repeat what Netanyahu and her handlers tell her to say. So that's also a shameful construction. She's not a god either. She hasn't stepped into her power either. She's confused and lost. But there are other people, but she's still part of this mechanism of active intention.
Yeah, they are they're using their power poorly. They're abusing it, but they are. Yeah.
So what? I mean, so.
But yeah,
what are we doing here? It's the truth.
It's the truth.
What is this?
We do determine whether or not children live or die. We determine whether we live or die. We create life, we destroy it. In what ways are we not God? It's crazy to me that so many people are like, no, what? That couldn't be true. How could it not be true?
The idea of God creating. The idea of God. First of all, this is why I think it's important to dispense with God as a man, for instance, as some sort of a humanoid figure. Because immediately now, when you start to think of God as a man, now I'm
already disappointed.
You're wondering about.
I'm like, oh, okay. Now I know it's lying.
You're wondering about their temperament as a man. You're wondering about their physiology. God has a penis, things like this, or a vagina. And does it matter? And what does that even mean? And why are you thinking it needs to be constrained by this?
And I think thinking of it as a man too, makes us comfortable with the idea of a God that smites whoever they want and doesn't answer you. You don't have any knowledge of their presence in your life, and you're doing all this tap dancing to try to get in his good graces, and you're not worthy. It's I
think it's just as a narrative construction, it's very helpful to personify multiple things.
Yeah.
Including God. So other complex phenomena that's hard to talk about. So sometimes you make it human, and then you can say things like, so for instance, as we were talking about letting go of things and trust. That story I used to get about God God wants you to, like, the minute you say wants, you've humanized it. You know what I mean? Like, God, want is something that is easy for us to understand, want as humans. But the way I see it, if we were going to really try to get complex about what's happening, these systems are pulling us back to ourselves. And want isn't necessarily the word the way we think about it. It's not like God doesn't necessarily care. God could be aloof in a sense. It has given you paths. It has given you opportunities to see where you can take a challenge and then be shaped by it and be something greater.
Yeah.
And so you can be in awe of it, and you can love and be grateful for these opportunities. But the want thing brings me back to the idea of a human, and it's just the ways that we tell stories about things that we can't. It's language. It's not God, you know?
I mean, it's all one thing though. So
it's all one
it's like, you know, like if, you know, God like has created all, you know, and, you know, I know a lot of Christians think like God has created humans in God's image. Then, like, you know, that might not necessarily just mean physically. It could also mean all the emotions. Like maybe want is godly. Like God does want. Like they've given us all of these different options because they want us to take one of them. If they didn't want us to have all of these options and ways to do things, we would not have been provided those. So the evidence of the options kind of implies a desire for us to explore them. A desire, which is a want, you know.
Or even like, you know, well, I'm taking it even as like a bit more aloof in the sense of like a father who they look at the kid and you want the kid to have experiences. You bless. It's like, you know, you bless this kid with all these experiences, and the kid chooses to go back to the cubicle and chooses to
do a spreadsheet
to avoid engaging with the gifts that you've given them.
Yes,
given them. So it's like
you want them to go play outside, and they're on their dang game. They're on their dang computer.
Well, we joke about this all the time. You buy a gift for a kid. You buy this really dope gift for a little baby, and what do? They play with the box. You know what I mean? And you go, oh, come on, here's this toy. It's a robot, a transformer, and the kid wants to play with the box. And it's like, there's this, without a doubt, part of your butterfly story. Sheba did a episode about butterflies. God lays out for us opportunities to grow and evolve and to have experience. When we are raised as children, we are told lots of stories that are particular to our plot of land. It might be stories that your father said that he had no clue what he was talking about. And he just said it. And we take those on to your mother and the people in your neighborhood and the people
Yeah.
And then that is what the nature of our brains and our experience is. And God lays out the opportunity to always sort of go beyond that and to incorporate more things.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it's crazy to choose to stay butterfly, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To say caterpillar.
Caterpillar, stay caterpillar.
Exactly. You can stay your whole life as a caterpillar if you want to. You have to like choose to.
You have to choose.
And like this might be me personifying. It might not feel like a choice for the butterflies, for the caterpillars. It might just feel like intuition. It just might feel right. You know, like I didn't choose to like go through puberty, you know, though we do have the option, you know? And so like maybe it is more of a like, yeah.
But I think the way it works, so these are all tests. So
yeah,
whether we chose this intuition, this is a question of what is it? Free will. Like you're the person who's supposed to do the stuff that you did, and to take the steps, and to go through the experiences, and that other people, even with things laid out for them, and even with examples like you. they're not the person. Like God wants to experience even the staying in the cubicle.
Exactly. Like some people
He
have
also experienced that woman in the elevator, even that black woman.
exactly.
In the elevator, so.
Yeah. Exactly. Some of us like you came here to get it wrong. Like some of us came here to stay in the old paradigm. You know, like
which then challenges me to come back to myself, right?
Exactly.
Because part of this, like, my experience involves this sort of like, yo, come on, like, we gotta pay attention. There's fascism going on, and the media is lying to us, and don't you care? And
yeah.
Charlie Kirk, did you see what happened to his fucking microphone? That's actually not. That changes the story. What's going on? And some people are not.
You will.
Yeah.
So, because it takes pressure off of you and me and all of us. So, like, you're like, oh, I'm trying to do all this. You're not trying to do anything. You're like, you don't have free will. Like, your vessel is kind of doing it. You're just along for the ride. You think you are making the like, you know, the want is like the evidence of like that's what the source. The lack of free will. Exactly. That's the source. Like, so I know when I have this want, like, I want to say something. I want to, speak up. I don't know what's going to happen, but like, I don't want to, like, I don't want to take on the risk, like the bad stuff, but I do want to do it. And no one else is getting the same call that I am. Okay. Let me just sit back and let what wants to come through.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I'm at. That's the beauty of it. Like,
yeah. So like you're supposed to, you have no free will, but like your character, whatever, your avatar is here to try to like wake people up. And it sounds like you're probably going to learn though, like, oh, now I don't have to do that anymore. I've already done that. I've already tried. I've seen how they respond to that.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to turn it within, wake myself up.
I've learned that.
Yeah.
And
so it's like nothing we do is wasted time.
Yeah.
And like, if we want to, we can just talk about it as,
that's crazy.
If we don't have free will, then like, great. Like it's like, so it's exhilarating to think of it that way. Kind of like, you don't have like, shame doesn't work on you. Guilt doesn't work on you. Cause it's all part of this grand thing that is, like I'm playing my role. The other people are playing their role. They're supposed to have this response to me. I'm supposed to have this response to them having this response.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah, a lot of the confusion and the angst around like having conversations with people, and I see that we're not connecting.
Yeah.
For one reason or another, I care very much about. Let's see, I can say the words that will make it make sense for us. Let's do this.
And what if the divine is like, you want that, huh? Okay. So keeps pulling it back. The goalpost keeps moving.
And that is what's happening. It keeps getting weirder and keeps getting more complex. But it's also exposing more and more who people are. We were talking about like, it doesn't matter. Like some people, it doesn't matter if Trump is president or Kamala Harris is president or genocide or no. They go on a brunch. Like they have a reason.
Yes.
They're going to leave. They have a reason for why they've done enough, and they'll always. And so, for me, instead of trying to speak to that or compel that person to be different, that's who they are. God has given them that story. What do you say, like the Zelda thing?
I think God is like having us show people how to be gods. Because like these people who are like, I've done enough, I'm gonna go to brunch. Like, you're being a bad god. You're a person who has a lot of power, and you've chosen to use it to go to brunch.
You're playing the game small. You're pretending.
Mm-hmm.
This is we are all one and connected to the source, and you are choosing to play your ego role.
Exactly. Your ego makes you want to like feel like I'm just a little person who's just trying to make it.
But to bring to their attention that that's a choice.
It is. Literally, it's such a choice. And like I've been, grappling with like this, like trying to like shake people and be like, you're choosing not to care. You're choosing to let these Israelis, Jewish supremacists, Trumps, white people get away with it. You could stop them, but you're afraid.
And the fear needs to be.
That's their God. That's their God.
Your fear is the driver. Your fear is your God. Yeah. The fear needs to be addressed and dealt with. It's your shadow. It needs to be incorporated so that you can actually, because
Yeah.
What you're doing in this moment, you're letting terrible things happen in this moment, and the terrible people are becoming even more emboldened.
Yes.
They get a sense of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And
they see who's not going to do anything, even like no matter what the bad guys do.
They're
Like
keep making moves.
Exactly. They're like, great, good to know.
They're gonna keep. You gotta understand, this is not. It's so funny. It's a paradox. You know, you're both without free will on some level, but when you make a choice, and this is what I mean. Like for some people, it's completely mind-boggling to think about quitting a job. But I'm talking about if you make a choice to. Everything, man.
That's
everything, to step into love, to step into kindness,
literally
to step into truth, to hold. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. To hold your integrity.
Yeah.
And that's true with on a small level with your brother and your sister and your mom, and it's true with your neighbors. And if you take that and build that muscle, that awareness of it on those small levels, then you might have the opportunity to actually notice what you could be doing in your employment space.
Yes.
And in relation to the Trump fascism.
Yeah. I had read like something about like, you know, rather than civil disobedience, it's divine obedience. Like, you know, so when I say like, you know, I don't have free will, it's a thing that like helps me when I'm doing a thing that everyone's like, oh, I don't think you should do that. Oh, you're gonna get in trouble. Don't lose your job over this. And I'm like, my hands are tied. I wish I didn't have to fucking do it. Wish I did not have to do it. But yeah, like when Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, and he was like, I don't want to die. I don't want to have to do this. Please take this, you know, burden from me. I don't want to have to do it. But, you know, kind of seems like he didn't have a choice. You know, he's like, I got to do it. I'm supposed to be the one that gets killed just for, you know, being myself.
And all the people.
And they're all gonna get the wrong message.
They're all gonna get it rewritten by some crazy lunatic white guy who's going to misdirect everyone into some other nonsense. For his own political gain. Great.
But yeah, like when you're trying to do hard things or things that everyone else is, I think it helps to take it out of your hand. You're just the vessel. God is moving you around now. Like you're Jesus. Now Jesus is taking the wheel and telling you to flip a table.
But you know what it is. I mean, we've just trained ourselves against it. We've trained ourselves against it. We attach ourselves to logic and
like, no, God wants us to give to this charity. Like
we know how to behave. We've been taught how to behave.
Yes.
And we've been taught to avoid bold action.
Yep.
Because we aren't Jesus, and only Jesus is supposed to take bold action.
Exactly.
But I grew up with a WWJD thing on my wrist. I used to wear that back in high school.
Yeah.
Is it what would Jesus do just as an academic thing? Like, wait,
exactly.
Jesus
would do that, but I'm a human, so I'm gonna. It's so crazy. It was so. I mean, that's like I guess that's kind of one of our first kind of like, wow, our parents were really like performative, because like that wasn't like. I didn't do that because like I thought of it. Like it was obviously an adult who like made it the thing. And what would Jesus do? And those like bracelets and things.
Oh yeah, they were selling bracelets.
Exactly. But like that's wild that so many adults were like, yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, this bracelet. It's just so performative. It's like we've been taught to like perform being this like good Christian, you know. It's just such a.
And that's just true. That's the thing, though. That's the problem. The good Christian does that. The good Christian
does the Holocaust.
At the Charlie Kirk thing, the good Christian has pyrotechnics.
Is Charlie Kirk
memorial? They got a cross on a little like
gun
wheels, and he's pulling these. You know, it squeakily goes across the stage. He's mimicking the Jesus thing. That's all meaningful. Meanwhile, he's all about killing, you know, children and all this stuff.
Palestinians specifically, the one that Jesus was.
And if you listen to a Zionist, the good person practicing Judaism stays quiet and lets them do what they're supposed to be doing.
Exactly, like
what they intend to do for this political project. Stay quiet. No, there's be some benefit for us.
Exactly.
But notice, maybe we'll wrap with this. Notice that Barry's example. The thing he described, whether you find it appealing or something about it is off-putting, hopefully you find it appealing. he didn't cut off anybody. He didn't describe a particular group of people. He's not concerned with somebody's skin color or genealogical background or even their belief system. He's saying we all have access to all of us.
Yeah.
We're all part of this thing. That's a much more beautiful story than a lot of this other stuff. It actually pulls us further to some of the Eastern traditions.
Exactly. I know. And so when they say like, take it back, like the Islam is incompatible with Western values, I think it reveals a lot about what Western values are. And it's money. It's obedience to power.
Hierarchy.
It's obedience to hierarchy. And literally, you can do anything as long as you uphold those things. So,
yeah, it's wild.
but yeah, it is the most, he did say the most true thing. Like, we are the gods, like the God within, like all the power we seek, all of the safety, all of the blessings, all of the strength that we are seeking and taught to seek from, this external God is already within us. And yeah, the reason the children are starving, the reason people don't have homes is because we have all agreed that that's what we're going to do. Yeah. But yeah, we all have the responsibility and the power and the privilege, honestly, like it's,
one of the scary things when I first started to come to the realization about our power and what is, I felt this urge to reject it. Like, it didn't necessarily make sense to me that I would be that powerful and I would have put myself through the difficult things that I've gone through. That I would have done something simpler. If it were true, I would have made it. I would have been born myself as a billionaire or something like this. But it all speaks to my own understanding. Like, I'm in a place where I understand, man, I needed all of that. I'm so grateful. Who would I be if I was born to some legacy thing? Man, I needed that. I set myself, like, it was all set up somehow. So, and the other thing is this, like, fear that, well, these other terrible people, like the girl in the elevator or Netanyahu's son and these other terrible people, I don't want, if I'm that and they're that, I don't want to give them that, like those, I don't want to share this to people who could misuse it. And it's like,
doesn't matter.
These are all efforts to control. You have to let go.
Exactly.
You're trying to control something. It doesn't matter.
A God knows that it's always going to be okay, right? Like, what is
the most powerful ways
will be, and so yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm sleepy.
Yeah, me too.
I was tired. The internet was going off, so we did this a little bit later in the day, but I think we did an amazing job, and I'm excited to like talk more about this. But like, yeah, love it.
All right. You keep telling me this.
Telling me what I never go back.
Here I am, pregnant with me.